So we have really good news, and I wanted to go over it right off the top, right off the bat. We had a win, and it was the Nguyen-WIN. Our lawsuit with Michelle Nguyen, who's a member of San Diego County Gun Owners. And there are a couple other plaintiffs as well, North County Shooting Center and Poway Weapons and Gear, and of course, Second Amendment Foundation and FPC. FPC did the lion's share of the work, and thank you guys so much. But San Diego County Gun Owners, also a big plaintiff, a big part of this win, and we're very, very happy. For those who don't know, the Nguyen case was the 1 in 30. So they passed a law a few years ago that you can only buy one gun every 30 days. And finally made its way. So we started this thing a while ago. Just, everybody asks me about, like, hey, what about a lawsuit? What about a lawsuit? And I always say it takes, 5 to 10 years and $500,000, And this was fairly quick, and it still took 4 years, basically. November 2020 was the original complaint. And again, Michelle, thank you so much for being one of the plaintiffs, and everybody in San Diego County Gun Owners, thank you for being a member, because you are also a plaintiff too. The first stop of this thing, so November 2020, we filed the complaint, and I wanted to read just the first sentence, just the introduction to the complaint, because it really perfectly encapsulates exactly what's going on. This is from the complaint. The Second Amendment protects, quote, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, quote, plural, which shall not be infringed. And they added that plural in there, which I thought was really, really great. A right delayed is a right denied, and the Second Amendment is not a second-class right. So we said, look, this 30-day thing, one gun every 30 days, doesn't make any sense at all. Doesn't make any sense at all. So first stop was district court, and we won. We won in district court, which is great. The second stop was actually an emergency appeal, and asked the three judges to stay the order, and the stay was placed. So we went to court. The judge agreed, okay, and said, "Hey, we're going to, they win. We're ruling in favor of the Second Amendment here." And then emergency went in front of three more judges, and they put a stay on the order. So we won, and they said, "Wait, not so fast. Before you guys are able to exercise your Second Amendment rights again, we're going to pause this whole thing." Well, the latest stop was a merits review. It wasn't an en banc. That still is possible. It was a merits review. One of the things that's really difficult about talking about lawsuits is understanding that there are so many avenues, and a few years ago, people didn't even know what an en banc was, and it's not necessarily the same route for every single case. So this one is something that maybe we're not used to seeing. It was a merits review, and it was in front of three judges. And the three judges were really rough on the state's attorney. And the state's attorney was really bad at trying to make his case. In fact, one of the big things they talked about was, hey, why 30 days? Why not 60 days? Why not 10 days? Like, where did you guys come up with 30 days? And he danced around it and didn't answer it. And finally, one of the judges said, well, what if it was 12 months? What if it was a year? And he said, yeah, you know what? That would get a lot closer to being unreasonable. I'm going, really? A year would get closer to being unreasonable? So they saw right through him. One of the judges said, okay, well, let's say, I own a shop, and some bad guy comes up and says, hey, I'm going to kill you and your everyone you love. And I got to go buy a gun for the shop, and I got to go buy a gun for the home. I can't do that. You're not going to allow me to exercise my right to self-defense in both places. I got to wait 30 days. And they really, really beat this guy up. The judge the state's attorney had a really bad day. He had no examples of any law where, in the past or across the United States that was an analog. Now, what they mean by that when they say that, like, hey, is this, an analog? Is this an analogous, to any other law? What all they're meaning is there another example of a law that's similar to this? Very similar to this. Have we done this anywhere else? And basically, nope, there's no example. So they came out quickly, like the next day, which was Thursday night, and said, okay, we're basically, you got to kind of do algebra on this thing because we won, and then they put a stay on it, and now they're lifting the stay. So you now can, thanks to the Nguyen case, the Nguyen-WIN, you now can purchase more than one firearm every 30 days. In fact, there is no limit on how many firearms you can purchase. You no longer have to wait 30 days.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Purchase and dross.
Say again?
Purchase versus dross, as far as how this is concerned.
I'm not sure. What do you mean?
So you can purchase.
Oh, you can dross them. I see what you're saying. I'm
Yes.
sorry. And there was a little bit of a delay. Friday morning, I like right off the bat, I was getting texts from gun shops, and they're like, "Hey, the dross system isn't accepting it yet."
Right.
And so our attorney went and said, "Hey, we got this decision. Let's go." Now, in all fairness, California DOJ is horrible at getting anything right on any timeline, let alone 24 hours. So by the end of Friday, the feedback I was getting is that people could dross more than one firearm. So you're good to go. But yeah, I see what you're saying now. Excellent question. Before, you could purchase 3 guns.
Right.
But then
it took dross.
Yeah, but then it took 90 days to get the
Correct.
daggone guns, which is totally ridiculous. Anyway, that is a huge win. Even if you think to yourself, "Gosh, Mike, I don't know if I could even afford 2 guns at the same time. This doesn't apply to me." Every single time we can get a court, especially the Ninth Circuit, to reaffirm what we already know, the Second Amendment is a right and everyone's entitled to it. Every single time we can do that. Even if you don't plan on ever purchasing 2 guns, even if you've never purchased 2 guns, every single time we can get the court to reaffirm that and lift these ticky-tack ridiculous laws. That is a good thing. But I want to make it crystal clear. Right now, you can purchase as many guns as you like. Now, the next question is usually, well, what's next? And the real honest answer is nobody really knows what's next. Until it happens, there a couple things could happen. You could go to an en banc. Nothing could happen. They might say, hey, you know what? We had all 3 judges. By the way, all 3 judges on this panel said, yeah, we need to get rid of this. This is ridiculous. So there are other steps that could be taken. There are steps that might not ever be taken, and that would just wipe this out. And you could go for the rest of your life buying as many guns as you like, almost as if we live in a free country. So that's what's going on with the Nguyen case. Thank you so much to everybody involved. If you're not a San Diego County Gun Owners member, please become one. Please become a San Diego County Gun Owners member. These cases are not easy. The rest of what we do is not easy. If you're looking for a reason to come off the sidelines, do that. Also, if you are a San Diego County Gun Owners member, or even if you're not, show some love to Firearms Policy Coalition. Those guys did an amazing job, and they continue to do an amazing job. So I wanted to tell everybody about the Nguyen-WIN. Good news, right, Dave?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. Okay, 2 things before we go to break here. Get your gun prom tickets. Go to gunprom.com. It is a benefit for you so that we can do the amazing things that we do in the courtroom, at the ballot box. We need you to become a member. And also, don't forget, San Diego Gun Show, September 7th and 8th in Escondido. There's a symposium that includes speakers and classes. It's been posted on gunownersradio.com. Get your early bird pricing until August 26th. You can save $2 by going to gunownersradio.com/gunshow. And when we get back, we're going to talk to the ever so awesome John Baldwin. Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. If you're watching mainstream media, you're not getting the truth about guns. Gun Owners Radio is the easiest way to stay on top of the Second Amendment fight, the fight for your self-defense rights. You can watch our live stream on YouTube every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, or if you're in San Diego, AM 1170, FM 96.1, The Answer. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Gun Owners Radio and you'll find our show. Like and subscribe to help defend and restore the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.